Hi there, and welcome to Customer Interface. We are the Weathermen, a management consultancy firm. We are here to help you find your way amongst the clouds.
You have been selected as one of 10 new team leaders that will be in charge of training 6 new recruits. We will be discussing different characteristics that you may encounter, the challenges that come with them, and techniques which will help you to combat them.
So sit back, relax, and brave the storm. An important characteristic of a team that should arise for the leaders is the differing skill levels from person to person. Some of the phone staff may not have any prior experience of call centre work and group work. Therefore, there may be an imbalance in regards to the aptitude of skills such as communication. This is what the team leaders should expect. There are no inflated expectations before the leaders have met their teams. It is of paramount importance for the team leaders to be able to manage their subordinates effectively so that communication, not only internally, but externally, is at an appropriate standard. A key challenge that may result from differing skill levels is horizontal conflict, which can feel like stepping outside on a cold winter's day. Henner defines this as conflict occurring at the same level of the organisational hierarchy. Rahim believes that conflict occurs as one worker engages in activities that are incompatible with colleagues in their network. When there is a clear skill gap, workers may be seen as incompatible, meaning that conflict may increase. This is due to the fact that workers may become self-conscious, thus resulting in the members worrying about their participation to the team's performance and not feeling good enough to be part of the team. For the team leaders to combat these issues, it may be important to develop an understanding of each individual's skills, so that the leader can analyse how they will work together as a unit. If the leader can then adjust their leadership style to each individual, this will make the workers motivated to improve on their weaknesses until they are at similar skill levels. To monitor this, the leader can set clear tasks that help the worker to improve on their weaknesses. If the worker receives feedback on these tasks over time, it should result in an increase in motivation and also their skills, as the team leader will be able to clearly see where the issues stem from and how to counter them. Once a balance has been reached, this will encourage positive, effective communication between the group, leading to an increase in synergy and also a better team dynamic, which in turn shall hopefully reflect itself in improved performance in regard to how quickly the staff can answer customer subscription queries and hopefully sell more magazines on behalf of various magazine publishers. This should feel like stepping from the cold outdoors into the warm sun. Oh, hey Darius, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just catching up on another characteristic of management. Would you like to know more? An important characteristic of groups and teams is that new team leaders must be aware of the team processes and the associated member commitment to a common purpose, while establishing specific team goals and efficacy. These characteristics are especially important with working teams that are very independent, as they are in the case of customer interface. The new team leaders must acknowledge each team member has a different skill set in terms of working in a call centre, and that in order to utilise effective team processes, each member's individual contribution must be acknowledged. By doing this, each team member's effort is increased. A challenge that can arise from the lack of acknowledgement of team processes is social loafing. Social loafing has been defined as a phenomenon in which people exhibit a sizable decrease in individual effort when performing in groups as compared to when they perform alone, as stated by Ying, Li, Zhang, Peng, and Lin. Social loafing does not exist in the workplace, but also day-to-day lives. If one is not acknowledged for their individual effort, it often leads to them doing less work. Therefore, it is often common for an individual to work far harder at an individual task in the workplace compared to when working with a team. When working as a team, if the team does a majority of the work, then an individual may see it as a reason to slack off. This significantly reduces team productivity. However, it is not just up to the team leader to ensure complete team cohesiveness, contribution, and productivity, but also the team itself. Given that individuals are in constant interaction with their team members and leaders, both leaders and team members may be held responsible for interactional justice perceptions, as stated by Murphy, Wayne, Leiden, and Erdogan. It is imperative for teams to have daily meetings to ensure that everyone is completing required tasks as assigned, and that for each bit of work done, acknowledgement is given.
Now we're going to pass you on to 2 more consultants who are going to help you get some wind in your sails, or should we say, gales in your sails.
Come on guys, let's take a walk. An important characteristic of a team that team leaders must be aware of is the diversity of the members of the team. Every single team member is unique. Their religious beliefs, their ethnicity, their sex, their gender, their skill set, etc. A diverse team allows for the utilization of many different strengths and perspectives. A diverse team that works together well could ultimately increase productivity. Even though there are many benefits to a diverse team, there's a major challenge that must be faced by team leaders. That challenge is conflict. There will always be conflict within teams. It is also possible to get rid of conflict completely. As defined by Vecchio, Hearn, and Southey, the successful management of conflict involves both sustaining a target level of conflict and selecting a conflict reduction strategy. Conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing if the members of the team are well managed by the team leader. The key here is having a balance. If there is absolutely no conflict in the workplace, no progress will be made as there will be no drive. Too much conflict and the team can fall apart due to major disagreements. Right, guys, I think that's about it. Wait a minute. Tom, am I forgetting anything?
Well, there is one more thing. As a leader, another important characteristic of a team that you must consider is how you and the organizational environment that you foster motivates the staff. Motivation, as defined by Robbins, is the process that accounts for an individual's intensity, direction, and persistence of effort towards attaining a goal. It is an important facet of the group to consider, as implementing the correct strategies to cultivate a highly motivated team serves as a formidable avenue for increasing organizational performance. Achieving such a goal does not come without its challenges, as the members of the diverse group will correspondingly respond to the motivational tools in an array of different ways. There are many theories which describe how an individual might be motivated, such as the expectancy theory, which states that the strength of a tendency to act in a certain way depends on the strength of an expectation that the act will be followed by a given outcome of a certain attractiveness, or the equity theory, which prescribes that an individual compares their job inputs and outputs with those of others around them and then will respond to eliminate inequalities as defined by Robbins. Throughout the array of different academic theories, there is a presence of varying intrinsic and extrinsic factors which contribute towards the employee's motivation. The job characteristics model, developed by J. Richard Hackman, cited by Robbins, provides core job dimensions which must be targeted in order to improve a personal and work outcomes, and serves as a blanket to cover those varying intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. The characteristics defined in that model are skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. The basic principle behind this theory is that individuals obtain internal rewards when they learn that they have personally performed well on a task that they care about. The satisfaction of these job dimensions can be supplemented further by a range of work arrangements such as telecommuting, flexi-time, or job sharing to help further employee motivation. If these characteristics within the team are managed properly, you will see a high level of work motivation and a corresponding increase in the quality of work performance and job satisfaction.
Thanks for listening, guys. We do wish you all the best with your new teams. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. We've got a conference to go to.